All right. Good evening, everyone, again.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening. So we go straight into our meeting. So today, like I indicated in the invitation to us, we will talk about unblocking our energies. You see, I could have done these things. Share unblocking our energy is what regular Pentecostal calls deliverance. Deliverance. Why do you need deliverance? There is a pattern in your life that is not consistent with the life you want to live, that is not consistent with your ability. It is not a pleasant pattern. They will tell you you need deliverance for it. In another ministry, they will say that it is, this I'm calling unblocking your energy, they will say it is separating from the past, that you should separate from the past, maybe because there is a pattern too that is not pleasant to you, or there is an addiction, there is a sin that is difficult for you to break. The two now call for deliverance or separating from the past. But time, experiences, our own, others' own, has clearly established that these things, as they are done, is not setting anybody free. One is the fact that people don't really get free. If it is a pattern, maybe there is a pattern of acute, endless poverty, lack of resources. It doesn't work because most time now, maybe suddenly these guys start now getting money. When you check very true, the money is not out of good dealings. They get money with a lot of lie, manipulation, stealing actively or passively. And when they get the money, it's for their pleasure, not for any purpose. And I told you that you are not strong. You are not a man of character if your money is not spent on purpose, people, and of course, pleasure. And of course, pleasure. And you don't have enough money if your money is always around, if you give your money to pity and to problem. And purpose is a lot in what you give your money to, you know. So that's so another thing is when they notice you are not flowing, you are not flowing in life, you're always having health challenge, you're always having desires that never become reality. When that also happens, they will say you need deliverance. And that happened also to be the experience of some of us. So what do we do to unblock our energy? There are no big thing, actually. Basically, I'll just be talking today to us about forgiving people, forgiving yourself. You need to forgive people, forgive yourself. And I explained to us what forgiveness is all about. That's what we'll be talking about today. Then cleansing your karma. The seed you have sown in your ignorance, maybe to religion, the seed you sowed in your dealings with people, the lies, the deceit, not dealing well with people is a seed. And you are being punished by it. And you are in the state of being punished. Or the seed that your parents sowed. Do you get what I'm saying? Maybe to advance themselves or to even send you to school. And that is setting you back, you know. So that's what that's why I'm talking about cleansing your karma. Then today also, I will now talk to us about two ways of creating our reality. If your energy is flowing, if you are not a victim of negative karma, and you are doing nothing, you are not acting, you are not working, nothing will still happen. Do you get what I'm saying? Nothing will still happen. So I'll talk about two major parts to creating our reality, which is basically being aware of the God in you, aligning yourself to the God in you. And one other thing, I just escaped my mind now. I'll get there in the PowerPoint. Then with time, I want to wrap it up in the days to come. Maybe we'll do 2 or 3 more sessions. I'm hoping that by first week, we should be done. I want us to finish everything before 6th. So there might be days we just do regular days, 3 days consecutively, because I will now talk to us again about more creating your reality and your life. Then I'll talk about God of the ego. If you are worshiping the God of the ego, you will not get anything out of life. Somebody posted something on a status today. Let me see if it is still there before I open my slides. She said, just hold on. She said, okay, maybe. Okay, she said, 3 things I know. 3 things I know. She said, prayer still works. Even when you whisper it through. If she had said prayer still works, I would not have responded the way I did. She said, prayer still works. Even when you whisper it through tears or speak it in silence, it reaches heaven. That's what she said. Then I told her this. Of course, I was busy because she later now asked me that, and I told her, I said, this kind of prayer described here doesn't work. So she said, which one does? And she sincerely wants to know, I believe, because she did this sticker. I don't know, is that sticker? Like, please. She said, I need my kids with me. My children need me. I think she's having issue with her husband and all that. Maybe later, if she remind me or I remember, I'll tell her the prayer that works. But the sad thing is, people are very lazy to walk it. They want to be pampered, that when they cry to a God in the sky, he will help them, forgetting that God does not respond to pity. He does not respond to problem. God only responds to faith. And by faith, I'm talking about the ability of God in you. You get what I'm saying? God responds to that more than any other thing. Let me go into the slides so that we can start now. All right. Unblocking. Okay. Okay. Sorry. Is this what I want? I people should see me. Please hold on, please. Okay, this will do too. Okay, this will do. Are you seeing what I'm sharing?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Unblocking your energy. I've said this, Mr. Love. I've actually run through what I'm teaching tonight. We'll just go through the slides.
Okay.
We'll just
Sorry,
go through
my
the slides.
network. Yes.
No, that's okay. We'll just go through the slide briefly. So energy as freedom, or energy is freedom. We have talked about our soul, about a weak soul and an healthy soul. Maybe we might talk about healthy soul too. So energy flows through your soul, acting as the divine current that connects you to source. The Father God, the creator that we popularly call God, is our source. God is the source of everything. So who is God? God is the source of everything. God is not the one keeping record of what people are doing on the earth. God is not the one in control of the earth. It is man that is in control of the earth. But he's our source. He's our source. He's the one who gave us things that we need to control. He's the one who also gives us ability to control them. A lot of people are static in life because, like I started saying about prayer, because they are waiting for God to come and do for them what God can never do. Religion is what led people to that place. You know, I don't know if you people know that I have had people that are close to me who could be useful to me, and they will be telling me that God will make a way for me. They're already a way. It's just like you have something that I have, or I have something that you have, and I'm telling you God will make a way for you. That is how terrible religion can make human being become. God is the source of everything. Understanding this life force is essential to experiencing true freedom and spiritual vitality. Removing blocks to reclaim your flow. Resentment. Fear. Distractions are subtle but powerful forces that can hinder your flow. When I'm talking about forgiveness, I will dwell on this more. You see, whatever it is, anybody, anything that make you have that energy that resents, that energy that is afraid, that energy that distracts you from what you should be doing, are the ones controlling you. Yeah, people do bad things to you. People do bad things to others, that you just resent them. We must all overcome resentment, that passive yet strong hatred towards people or towards things that we do not like. And like I always tell you, the fact that you do not like somebody or that you do not like a thing does not mean that thing is wrong. It's just that it is not the way you want it. When you walk in resentment, you walk in hatred, what people did for you or what people did not do that now make you hate them. When you're always afraid and when you get distracted, you will hinder your energy flow. To unblock your energy, consider the following. You know what I notice is, okay, recognize your emotional triggers and let go of grudges. I'm trying to think of what triggers me. Me as a person now, I get very triggered with stupidity. I get very triggered with stupidity, but I've overcome that. Oh, I have. I'm not thinking. I know that it doesn't really bother me again, but I can do a lot. I can overreact because of stupidity. Of course, I don't know how to keep grudge. You must know your triggers. Stupidity triggers me. What came to mind readily now is many years ago, I was traveling. Onyi was very small. Onyi was very small. That would be like maybe 2014 or 2015, January. But Onyi was small. I know Onyi is a big girl now, you know. So we're traveling from Bida. We're going to Abuja. Me, Onyi Mayokon, Benga, who is now in the US, and a few other people. One other person, I think, was with us, Mr. Tolawi. So we had you with the car on the way. You know why I'm sharing this is people most time don't remember the big words. They don't remember the Bible verses, but they always remember the story. That's why I want to share this story. And one of the things that convinced me of that was about 3 or 4 New Years ago, as he collected somebody's car to go and do watch nights in a church, cross over in a church. And as he was coming back, a man that was drunk hit him at the back with damage to the car. Then he remembered a story I told about somebody hitting our car and how I reacted well. And the person now even gave me money that fixed the car, and I also had more money. This happened many years ago. So we were coming from Bida. So I think we were approaching Suleja. Then we saw around 7:38, we saw a soldier checkpoint. Then the man said, and Mayokun was in the car. Mayokun was a baby then. If it is 2015, Mayokun was like 6 years. Uh, if it's 20 or yeah, like 6 years, so he was smaller. Then the driver said, and there are two grown men in the car. I was the one driving. Then the soldier man said that, where is the mother of these children? I said, she's in Jos. Then he said to me, he said, oh my, I got very, I got very angry that day. Then he said to me, he said, you will not leave here until the mother of these children came. That sounded very stupid. Just some moments before now, you seem to be caring for the children. Now, you want them to be here with you all night or what? For their mother to come. It got me very angry. It got me very angry. And I was angry. I was also triggered not too long ago, maybe 2 years ago, with somebody in a meeting, and I got very angry. But sincerely, I've been trying to remember exactly what happened. But anytime I remember that incident, I always feel that I overreacted. I've outgrown it. When we're in university, I can talk about many things around being stupid. You need to know what triggers you. What people say to you that triggers you, what you remember that triggers you. I'm sure I have other triggers, but I remember that more. As in, that trigger me to the point of grudge and meanness. That's what I mean. Then embrace moments of stillness to connect with your inner guidance. Cultivate positive affirmations that resonate with your true self. We talked about that. Okay, this is my interest today. Forgiveness. Yourself and others. It is the guarantor of your liberation. You will liberate yourself from negative energy, and you will liberate your blocked energy. You will start finding expression. A lot of us have not forgiven ourselves for the mistakes we made, for the opportunities you missed, for the bad choices you made, for the wrong association you kept. You have not forgiven your parents. You have not forgiven your husband, your wife. You must forgive people. Me, there are people that, if there are people I have to forgive or that I struggled to forgive, I don't have problem with people. In fact, my own only realm of maybe I need to forgive people, and every time I try to do that, I also forgive myself, is around people that I have really supported, that I've carried with my own spiritual energy, that I have spread the energy I need for the best of myself, spread for them. Some of them share my resources with them, and they forget that, and they forget to do that to others that matter to me. I always feel very offended. And I think at this moment in my own life, of course, I always forgive myself for being stupid to know that people are not like that. Do you get what I'm saying? In fact, it took me time to forgive myself. Austin knows this. Of course, my wife knows it. 2012, we had 2 cars because one man gave me that my red car. Austin knows it. Then that BM that somebody gave. My wife she was even excited originally about that. Okay, she will have that car. Then I said we are giving it out, and I noticed people are not very grateful, and it pained me. It gave me very serious acute pain at a point in life. You might be in that situation too at the moment. Forgive people. Forgive your investment in people that look like a waste. Also, forgive the investment of people on yourself that is now looking like a waste. People like this, so forgive yourself for reading so much to the point of making first class, and the marketplace doesn't look like it favors things like that. Not too long, I think this week, I saw a boy, he made a first class in a university. The boy only had 2 Bs. So his first class was like 4.94, 4.98. He had only 2 Bs and 77 As. So I was reading comments. It was on Twitter. Somebody said that he knows one boy last year that made the first class that is doing work of 50,000, So you need to forgive yourself so that one can really get the best of what one has. So forgive yourself, whatever it is, forgive yourself, forgive people, forgive yourself, forgive people. If you do not do that, you cannot release your energy. You cannot release the life of God in you. Kenneth Hagin taught a lot about forgiveness and love. And one of the people that I know really, more than many of them that are popular in Nigeria, in fact, some of them that are very popular were actually spiritual children. One of the people that I know very well that understand forgiveness and love is Reverend Badi Ogunlana in Ibadan. In, I think, 1995, December, he gave clothes to a tailor. I didn't know the story because he didn't used to talk much. I didn't know the story. So you know how tailors used to do now? They tell you, come tomorrow, come today, come tomorrow, come today. So the man was messing him up too much. Then he gave me an envelope with money inside. Christmas was coming. He told me I should go and give that man and tell him that I should forget the clothes and he should use that money to buy Christmas things for his children. He was showing a lot about how you cannot release the life of God in you. Forget how church people have reduced all these things to saying forgive people so that you can go to heaven. You forgive people so that you can create heaven in your space. They will tell you forgive people so that you can go to heaven. I don't know why they think it's all about going to a place. But I think even if you go by the Genesis story of the Bible, it is more about bringing a place to the earth, and that is bringing heaven to the earth. The earth was supposed to be annex of heaven. And Jesus in the Lord's Prayer said, relating heaven to the earth, confirming that the original plan of the Creator, either as the Bible expresses it, or as we are knowing it with revelation and proper thinking, is that we should create heaven on earth. See what happened in Kwara State. Don't let us go into that. So Pastor Bade did things like that. I remember there was a time, me, I was seeing Deeper Life then, and I was relating with him. An average, I was in religion. An average religious person are critical of what they don't understand. They are very critical. So I used to, in my heart, look, people come around him, wear trousers, girls, they use earring, So I will be despite. If I remember one day to see, this man was helping me when I was waiting for admission. He was helping me. He was saying, okay, I'll just be running some errands for him. He came to start his church in Ibadan, 95. And I will be giving me, I think, 500 naira or 300 naira every month. But I'll be despising in my heart to the point that I'm just remembering now. I went to my Deeper Life people, the leaders. I said, this man of God, he said he's a pastor, but guests come around him, they wear trousers, they wear ring. You know how they say? They say, bro, you need to be careful, all this end time pastor. So one day I told him that I can't work with him again. Those are men of God, though. I still know what he did for me when I was in university. If I go to Ibadan and he's available with me to play chess, we talk life. Men of God, But then, so I told him I'm going. He paused. Then he said he's coming. Then he went inside and gave me clothes. He gave me clothes. We have to be at that level too. When people that we are helping are hurting, you get what I'm saying? And they are doing it in ignorance, not as a pattern. We'll show them goodness. But when it is a pattern, we'll cut them off energetically and emotionally. Forgiveness doesn't mean you approve of the betrayal, the lie, the abuse, the abandonment. It means you are done letting it own space in your mind rent-free. It means you are cutting the cord between you and the parasite, the energy sucker. Whatever it is, it could be people, it could be a habit that you feel very bad every time you are engaged in it. You cut it off energetically and emotionally. How do parasites suck energy of life out of you? They make you focus more on what is not working in you. They make you lose your energy into reacting to them. When you use your... There's a girl in my office. I think I talked about it not too long ago, that I relate with, that I talk with. I counsel her. You can be talking to her like this. You'll be talking to her. Then she will suddenly start crying. So recently she was talking to me, and he's a boy, it's because of a boy. Was talking to me today again. Yeah, about the boy. And I think this week or last week, she told me that she has deleted the boy's number, that she's feeling tempted to call the number. And I was busy. I think I was preparing for this meeting. I just paused and started shouting on her that when you always go back to your source of pain, you will never be able to create space for your source of pleasure. Whatever it is that brought you pain in the past, either a thing or a being, and the thing or the being has not changed, and you keep going back to it, you will never be able to create space for pleasure. You must cut the cord between you and them, between you and it. And you must do it energetically, you must do it emotionally, you must do it painfully. You must do it painfully. So when I say forgive, I'm not saying do it to be a good person. I'm saying do it so that you can enjoy everything good that the Creator has in mind for you. You are not doing it to be in anybody's good book. You are doing it so that you can create good books that the world can read about the goodness that you are spreading, about the kingdom that you are building. Forgiveness as a release. Forgiveness is also a release. You do not forgive just because you want to forgive. You forgive to win. You to win. You are not forgiving to save anybody. You forgive to save yourself. Because as long as you are carrying that bitterness, that pain, that grudge, you are leaking power. It is so crucial that we must, if we will flow with the life of God, if we flow and fulfill purpose, we must forgive people. We must forgive ourselves. And we must forgive to the point that when we still have encounter with those people, the bitterness does not swell up in our hearts again. Other than the fact that you will not flow in life, you unblock your energy to also affect your health. As long as you are carrying that bitterness, that pain, that grudge, you are leaking power. Every time you remember it and feel pained, your energy gets hijacked. Your emotional system gets triggered. Let's learn to forgive. The second thing, like I've introduced earlier, that I'll talk about, and I'll be brief about it because of time, is karma cleansing, authentic energy exchange. I told us in the last meeting that the template that you are fulfilling, except you are deeply spiritual, has been set for you by your parents. And if you are not spiritual, it will be the boundary of your life. You will not be able to transcend them. It is a reality we must embrace, that if you do not grow spiritual and exchange this energy, you cannot be better than your parents. You notice that you seem to know so much more than them, but you are not experiencing life better than them. Exchange your energy, cleanse your karma. Karma cleansing, simple way, or karma clearing, involves genuinely uplifting others. You know, these things look very simple, but you are not practicing them. You are not practicing them. You must be willing to genuinely, consistently. I feel that one of the things that broke parental tendencies, negative parental tendencies in me is I have dealt with people, and I say it with sense of humility and as a matter of fact, and I'm proud of myself, all in the same statement. I've genuinely done things for people that I'm just doing for them. It's not common in our world that people will do things for you without having interest. Most time people will give you ram, but they will keep the rope. You know, so they still control things. You must learn to genuinely uplift others through your energy. And one of the ways to do that is you should offer sincere compliments, do heartfelt actions for people. That's why I always say that I embrace people a lot, because you see, I always tell you people that the most faithful person to me on earth is my friend, my brother, Minister Wale Odofin, and his family. I have good friends, but I just don't want to go into that. You know why? It's not like he gives me big money, but he's concerned a lot about me and he initiates good towards me. Is he one that will just sit up and say, Pastor, why don't you think of doing this? Pastor, please. He initiates. See, love is not true when there's a lot of stories behind it before you do the good. Learn to initiate good towards people. You will cleanse whatever energy that you are carrying that is not consistent with where you are going. Contribute positively to people. That will enhance their lives and your own energetic flow. Plant seed of real change, and the universe sees it. Every time you do good for people, you are getting moral points. You are getting moral points. And you are getting currency that will make your life flow better. I also talked about the fact that I'll talk to us about path to reality. I might not read the thing much. I'll just talk to us from my heart. But before then, let me say this again, because don't waste this moment. Don't waste this period. You need to sit down. Because I know a lot of you who claim that you are forgiving people, but you still speak bad about them. I can't even do that. See, if I'm very displeased with you, I don't talk about you to anybody, either good or bad. I don't even mention your name. If I've forgiven you, I can't be saying bad thing about you again if I claim to have forgiven you. Of course, I don't really owe you good things. I don't have to be saying good things about you. And if you want to be sure that the blood that is running and raining and raining in your life is not the energy of birth from your parents, cleanse your karma by consistently do good. By consistently do good. Now, if you have done that, you now want a better earthly experience and existence. I will read this because I'll still teach on how to create your reality. I'll just read this. I'll try not to explain much. The path to reality. It is essential to wake from spiritual sleep and align with your higher self. This process involves recognizing distraction and false light that obscure your path. There are only two paths to reality: aligning with your higher self, and that is God in you, Luke 17, and create from within. I intentionally put this Ecclesiastes 11. One of the things, the reasons why most of us cannot create, I will still dwell on this when we get there. I'll do a soul teaching on this. Is because you pay a lot. Even me, one of the things that have affected my ability to create a lot is looking outside, looking at people, looking at friends, looking at family, looking at who can help, forgetting that with the God in me and creating with myself in absolute silence and true patience, I will bring everything to pass. Align with your higher self. That simply means be aware of the God in you. Know that the ability of the Creator is resident in you. When you create from within, there is no blame. Nobody is responsible. It's all about you. When you do that, you tap into your source connection, you enter flow, you unlock timelines where manifestation becomes second nature. No begging, no selling your soul to any pastor. Just you and God co-creating. Or you trade your energy for tricks. What are the tricks? The entities. They are not powerful, they are desperate. They show up as lovers. These entities that sap your energy. They show up as lovers. They show up as pastors, spiritual teachers. Every time somebody wants to help you and they demand money from you, every time somebody is helping you and they are demanding money from you, they are actually sapping you. Of course, every time somebody helps you, every time somebody is willing to help you, give to them. Give to them. I have shared it with you before. Austin can confirm this. If you go to Jos, go to Prevailing Faith, meet the twins, and tell them that I said you should collect my letter from them. As far back as 2008, 2009, when resources don't even flow and it's not stable and it's not fixed, I was giving $20 to Kitmore Ministry. Why was I doing that? It was one of the very few people that started resonating with me in my deconstruction. Of course, I deconstructed into grace first. It's, I'll say to people things like this, that nobody is going to hell because of sin. It was from his mouth I started hearing it. And how did I get his messages? My friend in the UK, Pastor Tosin, sent me a system, I think 2007 or 8. And I went to Ibadan, Pastor Bade put his messages for me. When I listened to it, I contacted this ministry. I started sending money to them, $20 every month. I had a card then from GT Bank. I mean, Zenith Bank, they called it Web Sofa. That was what I was using to pay it. But you see, Kitmore did not demand from me. So every time anybody is saying, give me to give you, you want to sap your energy. And that is what pastors are doing. They will say, God said you should give him through them so that he can bless you. No, we know that we have been blessed, even if this have not manifested in numbers of money. Because of that, we give. Not to be blessed, because we are blessed. Then the blessings start finding expression. They show up as lovers, as spiritual teachers, as contracts, as opportunities. They promise elevation but deliver bondage. Because they need you more than you needed them. You are the price. You are the potter. You are the force they fear. Don't let anybody sap you again. Because you are already free. You are forgiven. You are forgiven. And you are forgiving people. You know, when I was talking on forgiveness, I didn't talk about we walk in God's forgiveness, because we know that of course, God was in Christ reconciling the world to himself. It's a statement that established that God has forgiven the whole world. They just don't know it. The way I used to teach it in Pentecostal manner is like this. You have admission, you refuse to go to school. Your experience will be like that of somebody who did not have admission. You will never graduate. That is what happens when people do not know God has forgiven them. That is what happens when pastors still tell them they should ask for forgiveness every time they sin. There's nobody that asks for forgiveness every time they sin, that have victory over that sin. Nobody. People only have forgiveness. People only have victory when they know they are forgiven. So in their sin, they declare their forgiveness and their victory over the sin. Here is the catch. No one is coming to save you. No alien Messiah. Only you. Only your inner God will rise to save you. You are very powerful. Don't forget that. Wake up from distractions. If you want to create your reality, there are things that distract us a lot. And we all get to do that one time or the other, including me. But don't get distracted. Don't give your energy to the internet when you have not deployed your energy to something productive in a day. Because if you do that, you will enter spiritual sleep mode. A lot of digital noise and all that. A wise man said, as I conclude, every time you outsource your thinking to AI, to internet, there was something I was supposed to share with us during forgiveness. I'll still share it with us. I will end it with that story. I even thought I put the slide there, but maybe I missed it. Every time you outsource your thinking, you mute your spirit. Every time your inspiration comes from Facebook, from TikTok, from YouTube. Yes, you get things from all those places, but they should resonate with the life in you. They should not be creating life in you. In your stillness, in your fellowship with God in you, in prayer walk, in meetings like this, you should be building your spirit. Because social media is for entertaining and for the likes. That's why the best of them will give the best of content and they will tell you, follow me and like. There's nobody you bless that you need to beg to follow and like. I know people are passive, people are lackadaisical, but it is only people like us. Yeah, I understand that about people like us because we are not looking for fame. We are not functioning in ego. You don't see need to like and subscribe for what Minister Loma is putting, what Pastor is pushing. Every time you choose artificial light over divine light, you burn a bridge to your own soul. So choose discomfort over disconnection. Choose faith over firmware. Choose will over wiring. Choose the divine over the digital. The cheap will promise you heaven, but only your soul can get you there. Have you noticed? Be very honest with yourself. All of you that are scrolling, and your soul is thin. You don't still feel heavenly. So develop your soul. Maybe though it's not in the plan for this masterclass, maybe I'll still talk about LD soul and a developed soul. That would be the end of the teaching today. But before that, let me share this story with us about forgiveness. I think I shared it with them in fellowship on Sunday. And it is called Chasing the Serpent. Chasing the Serpent. For some of you that still find it difficult to forgive people, your brother, your sister, your auntie, your uncle, and you're giving them attitude, they are not talking to them again. Yes, you might need not to talk to them again, but you must be sure that you have forgiven them. So it was about a man who was moving from his village to another village, and he was bitten by a serpent. Instead of him to go back to his village and find health and healing, he started chasing the serpents. That is what most of us do. Somebody said bad thing about you. You want to call them and give them a piece of your mind. Somebody, especially you women, people like Deborah, somebody said bad thing about you, you don't like, you quickly come to your status. The God of the God of whatever is your God. Sorry, please. That the God of that God will fight for you and all that. Let it go. Stop reacting. Stop chasing the serpent. Next time people hurt you and you see the need to react, tell yourself, I will not chase serpents. There are times you meet people to correct them, especially when they are acting out of ignorance and they are younger. Most time when you want to confront, like I can do, like Minister Lovan can do, of course, we can really confront up. You get what I'm saying? Sometimes just let it go. Let it go. Stop chasing the serpent. This is where we stop sharing today. I want to hear one or two things from you, questions and contribution before we end the meeting today. All right.
Can I,
And
can I, sir?
yes, Minister Lovan, please.
Yeah, when you spoke about resentment, it struck me so deeply, and I immediately wanted to ask a question. It
All
was,
right.
but I had to wait till you finish the teaching. But I really wish I asked immediately.
I wish you had asked, Seth.
the, there are like maybe one, specifically two, but maybe three, but two major incidences that I've had in the past, say, 2, 3 weeks. The third one was as recent as yesterday in the vehicle that I was in coming to Makurdi. That I am, when you spoke about resentment, I was wondering whether I'm guilty of resentment, in those incidences. The first one has to do with a colleague in school. Can you hear me?
Yes, I'm with you, very much with you.
Okay. A colleague in school, this guy posted something on our platform, the school platform, and I responded. Not really a response per se. I just made I made a comment, more of an innocent off-point comment. What was it about? He he said something about government complaining about, he posted something, I think it was from the Ministry of Education. Government is complaining about low enrollment of students by some universities and polytechnics. The rate of enrollment is low. Some, like, even in fact our own school was even mentioned, no students. So
Okay.
I just said something like, I said, why are they complaining when they are the ones that caused the low rate of enrollment? I say they have stopped students from being qualified to be enrolled now by saying they must pass one language they must credit one language they call English language. So many of them are at home because they don't have English, so they can't enroll. And this guy, now, of course, that has been a regular line of argument they know from me. And this guy just insulted me, like clearly insulted me. I'll look for, I can't go into the detail, but Pastor, I'll go back and look for the screenshots of the things he said and send it to you to understand how the guy insulted me.
Okay.
And as angry as I was just following him, asking, like, first of all, I asked him, I said, come, is there something other than this, that you've been harboring against me? Or was it just this comment that, warranted this insult? So I asked him, of course, he dodged that question. And then me and him had exchanges. Me, I was just trying to understand why he did that. I was posing questions, and he just kept insulting me. And it was much later that I noticed that nobody called him to order, nobody cautioned him. And so when I established that he was just interested in insulting me, but not interested in logic or reason or any discussion, he just wanted to insult me, I now avoided him. I just avoided, I just kept quiet. Then much
I get you.
later, about two or three people were now sending me private messages that I should ignore him and all that. I was not angry with those people, but I didn't tell them. So
Yeah.
I'm wondering, why didn't you people correct to tell him on the platform? Why are you telling me privately? But of course I didn't tell them. Now that's even another dimension of the whole thing. How I realize how how dull and what's the word? I had that word earlier. How these people, all of them. In fact, I said, Pastor, can you imagine how you have about 200 colleagues, and let's say you relate frequently with up to
In
50
in a
of them
university, in a university space, where people are
in a
supposed to be
university
thinking,
space? Yes.
where people are,
And then
goodness.
and then let's say me as a person now, let's say I interact regularly with up to 50 of them, not all of them, but at least 50 of them. And you can't find one out of these 50 that is reasonable. You
I'm
can't
not me.
find one, or
I'm
at
not
most just
surprised.
one.
Sir. I'm
At
absolutely
most
not
just
surprised.
one, just one.
I'm not
Even
surprised.
those that you think you should respect. And these
I'm not
people are
surprised.
just
I'm
like
not
that.
surprised.
So this guy insulted me, and so the issue of the resentment here is I couldn't understand why he did that, and I imagine myself and him sitting with the rector. Maybe the rector called us, to address
Know
us,
why? Okay.
and then maybe because the way one of the senior guys that went to me privately, he was not making it look like we should that both of us are HODs. We should find a way of handling our issues because our staff are also in that platform. And I told him, me, I was not fighting him. Now, me, I was just asking simple questions. He was insulting me. I never insulted him back.
Mm.
So I now said, let's say the thing even generated, because in conclusion, before I kept quiet, I told him that I said the only reason I did not give you the response that you deserve is because I don't want to disrespect people on this platform. And then I ended with that. Because it's not as if I don't know how to give him. No, I will even insult him just to give him replies that will make him feel stupid. But I didn't do that because I didn't just want it to escalate. Because he's somebody that he will now start fighting back and start using more mean words because he's that shameless. So it will now appear as if me and him are fighting. So I just quelled it. But then I told him that I said the only reason I didn't give you what you deserve is because I don't want to disrespect people on this platform. But then it kept bothering me after that. Like, why would this guy insult me? What? But of course, later on, I realized that it was because of something. A very long time ago, there was an argument on the platform that his position was very foolish, and my response made his stupidity known. I'm sure he
Okay.
didn't take that lightly. He took that to heart because there was just no reason for this guy to insult me. So I now said that, like, how much I got angry and maybe had resentment for him was to the point that I was thinking, if this thing escalated and the rector, for instance, called us into his office and asked us to make peace, I will tell the rector that I will not forgive him. I imagine that. I said, please just forgive. I said, not in this life. I will not forgive him. That's
What do
how
you
hurt I
do
was.
you even mean by you not forgiving? What does that even mean?
Yeah, and that's
Sincerely,
what.
I do.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's what I'm going to explain. That's what I'm going to
Okay.
explain. Of course, I will never do anything to hurt him. I will never retaliate anything. It's not like I'm having a grudge against him. But you answered it. That's why I'm actually
Okay.
bringing
Okay.
it up, because
I
you
get that.
answered what I
It,
was wondering when you
yeah.
said uh, when you said uh, when someone is perpetually doing something, you just cut him off
Yes, cut
energetically.
them off. Yes,
You
yes,
just
yes,
cut
yes,
that energy off. That was the
yes,
answer for
yes.
me. That's the treatment I was
Mm.
giving him. It's not as if I'm angry with him, like I can do anything to hurt him or deny him
Yes, yes.
anything that he
Yeah,
deserves. I won't do
exactly.
that.
But yeah, yeah.
You
Of
know.
course, if eventually he realized himself and his dealings and he apologized and he did not repeat it again, you let it go. You get and I think about this self, if you said is reacting to this because of an encounter you had in the past, is the one resenting you. You are rather angry, you are just getting angry with his person and possibly thinking of also resenting him. And I think you should not, because it's not about him. It's just so much about you. People are like that, and it's a very difficult, toxic word that church has birth in our society. Go and check this person. You might be going to church way more than you do. And talk church more than you do, you get. Because people that think you can't have the picture of the God that most of them have, and be good, and be good, and be good. In fact,
Then the second one is church. Let me
Austin,
just
hold on. Have you imagined you and him going to the rector, and you say, well, he doesn't want to miss heaven, no, he has forgiven you. That's how they are. Do you get? Let's say the second one. Be very brief so that
Yeah, the
this
second
some
one.
people
Let me just try to. This one, I was sitting with this guy. You know my leg issue now. How I can't sit uncomfortably in a vehicle.
Yes,
You
yes,
know,
yes, I do.
let me tell you how bad this thing is. You know that day I went to collect my. I went to Port Harcourt, going to
To collect
to collect
your
my phone,
employment letter, yes,
my employment letter. You know, from
yes.
Port Harcourt, get the vehicle to that village is so difficult. I went and met one that was remaining one person, and I was already late. So I refused to enter because of that sitting, how the thing would choke. I said I'll wait for the next one, and I almost missed that in that day because of that. That's how bad my leg can be when I get cramped up in a vehicle.
Yeah.
So I had that experience yesterday, and I rushed and got myself a front seat. Unfortunately, we had to be two. You know, in those days when things were not, when Tinubu, it was Jonathan power, I would just, when it was Jonathan regime, I would just pay for the two seats. But I can't
Yes,
try
yes,
that
of
in a
course, of
Tinubu
course.
regime, you
Yeah.
know? So,
You can still try that, and
uh,
you will start trying that again. Okay,
you know,
continue.
so we now start with one guy, but I insisted on sitting, you know, by the door. He needed to now sit inside. Now, you know, in this Sharon, they will construct this small thing that look like kitchen chair and put there in between the driver and
Last
the
two,
passenger.
last two. Yes, yes.
You know, now the way they sit there, the person sitting in between the driver and the passenger, but you know, I found myself even giving them lecture about it yesterday. I said, look, we know that this front seat is more like, it's not up to two seats, it's like one and a half. But the person sitting in the middle will put half of his bum bum on that small stool and half
Yes.
of his
On
bum
the
bum
chair.
on the main chair where I'm
Yes,
sitting.
yes.
But this guy was making trouble with me. He left that plate, that stool that belongs to him, and was pushing me on my own rightful seat. Kept saying that, and I endured that guy for hours. My legs were even paining me, but I didn't just want to complain. And then this guy now started complaining. Me, the guy was pushing me. I didn't come. The guy now started complaining. I'm like, see, which kind of see finish with this now? And then he now made a fuss about it, trying to make everybody, because it was dark in the night, people were sitting behind. He was trying to make these people, you know, see me as a troublemaker. Say, which kind? This person is not a good person. That was the impression he was giving them. Then I tried to explain to them, but they were not also getting it. I just kept quiet. Now one of the guys behind spoke Hausa. So later I now spoke to him because at a point, of course, I was shouting on the guy. He was shouting on me, and I shouted back at him. I got very angry. Because the guy he looks bigger than me in stature, but I threatened him. I threatened him. He was saying, I said, come. I was so angry. I was hitting my hand on the vehicle. I said, look, you say you give me trouble. I said, if you see trouble, you say you go say you go stand, Abby. Bring the trouble, I'm waiting for you. Like I took the thing so personal.
If they want to give you one
Then
slap.
when I calm down, when I now calm down, I now spoke softly to the guy at the back in Hausa. I now explained to him I said, look, this is how this guy is supposed to sit. But he's ignoring his seat and pushing me. And I'm not complaining. But he turns out to be complaining and trying to paint me as a bad person. So we, of course, they just kept telling us, Muya Okuri, just you people is just, or they didn't want to tell him that I was angry with them. They didn't want to tell him the truth. But they were just saying which people should just be patient, Muya Okuri and all that. Then where I now got, when I was about to drop, no, early this morning now they were, it wasn't dark again. This morning when there was lights now, people could see us in front. The guy sitting directly behind me, because the guy kept telling them that there is space by my side that I'm refusing to shift. And this space by my side is the space between the door. The space between the door and the seat. So he wants me to hang half of my bombos, hanging, and then jam the door. So when it was lights now, I was now telling the guy behind me. I said, look at the space that this guy is telling me to shift to. Can you see it? And so I now shifted. I said the guy is wanting me to hang my bomb like this. Then I shifted back. Do you know what the guy said?
Yeah.
The guy that was sitting with me. He said it is now that if it is like this that I was sitting since, that he wouldn't have complained. That it is now that I adjusted. Kai! I said, what's wrong with this man? I said, this is exactly how I've been sitting throughout this journey. I said, why are you lying like a baby? I said, come. I said, you're too old to be doing this. Why are you're lying like a baby? Why are you doing that?
Austin,
So at that moment, I now got.
Okay.
At that moment, I now I had resentment for him too. I was so angry.
I get that.
So when I got down, they were to continue, and he was now telling me that I said, "Oh, God, I had dust on your head, or I cleaned your head." I didn't want to answer him. He was saying that I should clean dust on my head. I said, "Oh, God, dust on the."
now you can't take things personally. Now the guy don't. Let me see.
It took me the grace of God to answer the guy. I didn't want to answer him. I said, okay, thank you. And
let
then
me wrap up. I got your drift, Austin. The truth is also this. I need to say this. We can have anything, even resentment. You can have it, but don't live in it. Don't live in it. Do you get what I'm saying? The truth is, yes, you can have anything. Don't live in it. Don't let that thing have you. We are human. Most time we don't prepare for what we meet in the space in society, but don't live in it. Any energy that is not consistent with the one you want to flow through you or flow to you, don't live in it. Even if you have it momentarily, immediately Austin said that he had resentment for the man. I knew you had no resentment for him, because it's a lot in the world for people to even realize where they are. You get what I'm saying? So no big deal in all this. I really don't think that's a big deal. But the other guy, since you work with him, you must definitely find peace, absolute peace in your heart about him and towards him, so that they will, just for your own sake, like I emphasized when I was talking about forgiveness, it's more about you. You have to be selfish about it than about him. Briefly, Divine, you are welcome. Narrate, you are welcome. So who has one or two things to say again? We need to close now. Today is Wednesday. Today is Thursday. Let's meet Saturday night. Is that okay? Let me hear your response. Please, let's meet Saturday night so that yes, I want us to finish by 6th. I want at most 6th. We should just leave it till Monday, and I think we are staying too long. I don't want us to be exceeding 1 hour 30 minutes at most. Should we leave it Monday, Saturday? Let's vote. Monday, Saturday.
Saturday is fine. By me anyway, fine by me.
Okay. Tislo, what do you say?
It's okay, sir.
Monday. Yeah, okay, since majority seem to be having it, let's just miss Saturday night. There is if we can't meet, then I'll let you know. But tentatively, we are Monday, Saturday night. Thank you everyone for coming. Don't forget the life of God is in you. Align with it more than with your problems, more than with your flaws, more than with the things that are preventing you from flowing. Sislo, I was thinking about you this evening. I still strongly feel, though I was supposed to tell you alone, that you are not thinking big enough. I must be very honest with you. Uh, I must be very honest with you about that. I'll talk to you about that later. Is that okay?
Okay, sir. All right, sir.
You must let Deborah Divine, everybody, let's think, let's plan with the life of God in us, and let's live in alignment with that, not so much with the struggles and the pain. It's difficult, but that's our discipline. That's what will reveal our character more than with the aligning with our pain and problems. Align with the life of God in you, align with the promises of God to you, which is being in the kingdom. If you don't know what it is being in the kingdom where your peace is untampered with, where your joy is unending, and where your goodness is not restricted, or righteousness, however you see it. Thank you everyone for coming. Let's unmute and greet ourselves. See you on Saturday. Thank you very much, Minister Lovan, because you did it with me with your. I always come also with things to add so that I will not be the one talking alone for this long. Let's unmute and greet ourselves and make these declarations to ourselves. Let's greet
All right.
first.
Good evening, everybody.
Yeah.
Good evening,
Yeah.
Divine. How are you?
So say after me.
Good evening, everybody.
Say after me. The presence of God in me
The presence of God
God in me.
blesses the presence of God in you.
Blesses the presence
This is
of
the
God.
presence
I am
of God
aware
in
of the
you.
presence of God in me.
I am
I am
aware of
aware of the
Aware of the
presence of God.
presence of
It is also the
God in
power
me.
of God
It
It's
is also the power
Also the power of God
in me
in me
in
to
me.
salvation
to
salvation
salvation
and
Salvation
victory
and
and
victory
victory
over everything that limits
over
over
everything
over everything that
and that is
limits
limiting
and
that
that
is
is
and that is limiting
in me
in
in
me
me
in me
and around me.
and
and
around
and
me.
around me.
Let's speak over Nigeria briefly. I'm sorry for taking our time. We need on your own consistently speak over this nation. Things appear to be getting way out of hand. I never imagined days that people will go into church and be shooting, and it's even, of course, the first thing that occurred to me about that church attack can't even be said in this public space, but it is going out of hand. It's a nation where the can will be sentenced to life imprisonment, and some people who are committing more atrocity will be reintegrated into society. Some of them will even work, they will come to that reintegration with the uniform of the military man they kill. Do you get what I'm saying? And they will still be so the kind of how brazen they are, the kind of audacity in evil that is being tolerated, and desire for progress that appeared to be silenced. Of course, Nnamdi Kanu maybe was excessive in his way to see what happened in Kwara. Everywhere. There's a girl who teach in one of the school of one guy I'm very close to. There were midtime she was going to for wedding in Kogi State. She was kidnapped. I think recently again at the same very spot there was kidnapping. We need to speak order and peace to Nigeria. We are not telling God to come and do anything. An event is going on in the stadium now. Maybe they will have finished. I think it's Selma and them that are pushing it. Not a nation doesn't progress like that when we are willing to pray without acting. Do you get what I'm saying? And the prayer we are even praying are empty, because every prayer that is prayed to God and not prayed as God is just noise. It is when you pray as God that the God in you, also the creator of the earth, that some people place in heaven, can intervene in your affair. One of the ways he will intervene, he will bring structures of people who are willing to act and move. Say after me, I declare in the name of Jesus
I declare in the
I
name of
declare
Jesus
in the name of Jesus
and by the power and the presence of God in me,
and by the power and
By the power and the
presence
presence of God in me.
that peace,
that peace,
justice,
justice,
and order
and order
and order
is our portion in Nigeria.
is our
is our
portion.
portion in Nigeria.
We receive help
We receive help
help
against unreasonable
against
attacks
unreasonable attacks
against
and
unreasonable
unreasonable
attacks
men
and
and
unreasonable
unreasonable
unreasonable men
in powerful places.
in
powerful
powerful places.
places.
We speak intervention. We speak intervention over this
We
nation.
speak intervention over this
intervention
nation.
We speak peace over Nigeria. We speak peace over Nigeria. We speak peace over Nigeria. We declare that safety rules all over Nigeria. From Lagos to Maiduguri, safety is ruling. From Lagos to Sokoto, safety is ruling. Safety is ruling. Safety is ruling. Safety is ruling. We speak safety and peace over Nigeria. We speak safety and peace over Nigeria. We forbid the promotion of evil act and evil men. We forbid the promotion of evil act and evil men in the name of Jesus. I say this by the power and the presence of God in me. The portion of Nigeria is peaceful. The portion of Nigeria is prosperous. And that is our portion in this nation as a people of God. In Jesus' name. Amen.
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 Thank you, everyone, for coming. See you on Saturday. All right. Divine, you made it.
Good night.
I thought you'd come here with some loaves of bread for God's people. All right, everyone. I'm closing the meeting.